routine
Oh, yay.
of a lot of things I couldn't do. I mean, I had to wait for opportunity.
Right?
Right.
I love routines. Good morning,
Me too.
everybody. All right. So now we're here. Good morning.
What?
Now we are here.
Yes, and?
Are you in a bad mood today?
Yep, I am.
Okay. Would you
Keep
not?
my
You don't.
mouth shut.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to keep it shut, but you don't have to aim anger at me.
No, I'm not angry at you.
Okay. So I just want to say good morning.
Mm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I want to do a little. Good morning. I want to do a little check-in. So we were just talking about some rest and sleep and routine. So is everybody feeling rested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Feeling.
was
Yeah. Feeling
getting over
rested.
pneumonia. Finally.
Wow. Pneumonia.
Yeah, getting over it.
That's good. Glad you're getting over it. How you feeling? So I started a dry fast.
A what?
A dry fast. So it's a form of fasting that there's no food and no water. And so I started it on Sunday. I'm not recommending it for anyone under any circumstance. And what came up is just this idea that we can do with so much more than we have. Right? Like we can do with so much less, I guess. Like whatever it is we have, we can actually be really good no matter what we have or what we don't have. I think that we have this belief that we have to eat so many meals a day, right? We have to drink so much water a day. And I think that we need a lot of nourishment. We need a lot of water. And when we have times of hardship and we don't have certain things for our bodies, that we can actually be okay. Like, has anybody ever gone without enough sleep?
Gone what?
Gone without enough sleep?
15 days I stayed there.
Right. Yeah.
That's the longest.
That's a mental job right there.
Oh yeah, I was hallucinating or.
Yeah. So when we don't get enough sleep, we kind of start to feel like we're kind of losing our mental faculties, right? We start to lose our patience more. Like what else happens when we don't get enough sleep? What happens to you when you don't get enough sleep?
You start thinking all kinds of things.
Yeah. Like
I was diagnosed with schizoaffectiveness, right? And I was asked by this psychiatrist, and Sharon was there, and he asked me, said, well, when you seeing and hearing things that's not there, what are you going through, right? I looked at Sharon and I looked back at him and said, how the hell I supposed to know? Yeah, and then another psychiatrist, she asked me the correct way. She asked me, when other people are seeing you doing things that, like hearing things and not there, and seeing things not there, what are you going through? I mean, what they say you going through. And I told her, I said, yeah, I've been sleeping and came, I said, yeah, it's not there. You're not seeing that, or, you're not hearing that. So it's the correct way, you approach about these things in my illness, because I cannot diagnose myself.
mm-hmm.
I'm not my doctor. I even don't have that kind of degree. But yeah. And then it was taken that I was not taking my medication. And maybe that's true, because I wasn't getting any sleep.
So so I want to go back to that, but you were saying that it creates a lot of thoughts. What kind of thoughts when you don't get enough sleep?
Well, if you don't think about one certain thing, I mean, you pretty much think about a lot of things. My case, I usually try to think about how to solve something.
Okay, so when you don't get enough sleep, you start going into problem-solving mode?
Problem solving, and if
I
I
get that.
can't get it, I'll think of another way how to solve something. It's usually on the computer or tool-wise, if I'm trying to fix something,
Okay,
like a bicycle, something on the bicycle's not right or whatever.
okay, so you
Or
get
the
the
car,
thoughts.
I mean, kind of vice versa.
Okay, so you get into like hyper mode of
Mhm.
like focus and like one track mind. maybe.
Yes, but
Okay.
it does differ.
Yeah. Though depending on what track it is. Okay. Okay.
A lot of things.
Let's see. My mom's on here. Mama Jane. She says she feels totally out of sorts when she doesn't get sleep. Charles is on here. He says he gets cranky. What else happens to y'all when you don't get enough sleep? I have a hard time making decisions. I get really indecisive.
I feel tired.
You feel tired in your mind or your body or both?
My body
Yeah.
and my mind.
Yeah. Same here. Like if someone has me make a decision, I'm like, oh, I've turned into a goat. I don't know what to do. I can't make a decision. Yeah, my body doesn't want to move much. Kim, what happens to you when you don't get enough sleep?
I get restless and kind of moody. And I pace around, not sure what to do, kind of pacing around and restless.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
you know.
It's
I don't usually if you're not getting enough sleep, you would think you would sit down and just kind of just sit there and just be blah. Not me, I'm the opposite. Everything's always the opposite. You know how people take Benadryl and it'll help them sleep?
uh-huh.
I take Benadryl and I'm cleaning the house, doing crazy stuff, cleaning baseboards.
Oh wow.
So I don't take that.
Opposite.
Yeah, no.
I get the
Adderall does
opposite.
me the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to you, Alan, when you don't get enough sleep?
When I was,
When you don't get enough sleep?
I keep waking up and I have to urinate and it's, well, then I get up and have breakfast, the rest of it, then come here. But, I keep tossing and turning but I'm finding if I take, particular medication at HS, that helps me sleep less interrupted.
Okay.
So, that's one good method,
Yeah.
you know.
I noticed that sometimes when I don't get enough rest, I tend to go into behaviors that aren't healthy. So like if I don't get enough sleep the night before for a couple days, and then it's like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'm gonna go drink 2 coffees. I don't normally drink coffee. So for me to have 2 coffees, that's a lot on my adrenals. Or I'm like, let me just go get pizza or let me just eat some sugar. And I end up making decisions that I wouldn't normally make.
Right, that's why they tell you not to go to a grocery store hungry.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And oftentimes like when I think I'm hungry, if I stop and just sat for a minute, I'm actually tired. And that's an interesting place to be in.
Well, what causes you to yawn?
Oxygen deprivation. It's our body that's like, I need more oxygen. And so we do that big inhale.
Just verifying.
Yeah, that's all.
Safety goes out the window. I'm not careful. I mean, I'm all careless. I drop things, I bump into things. I'm not aware of what's, could harm me or hurt me, and then I do make that decision about, hey, I'm gonna go across this town and I know I got a contract written out on me, but I'll go. But you know what I'm saying? Not really, being cautious.
Right.
Caution goes to the wind.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, we tend to do, when we're not rested, we end up making decisions that are harmful, like that aren't necessarily safe. It's like if you imagine someone that's like really tired and they're getting in the car and they maybe forget to put their seatbelt on or they start driving and they're just focused on the driving, but they're not really focusing on others on the road, or when you're really tired and your eyes start to do the thing. And you're like, why are my eyes closed? And you don't realize they're closed until they open. Those are fun ones. I used to do that in school all the time. I would be so bored in school and I would start dozing off, and I was also sleep deprived. And we're taught at a really early age that sleep deprivation is okay. When you look at children, when they are put in the school system, the timing that they're made to go to school is so early that it's not in their nature to be up that early. So it would be the equivalent to waking us up at 3 a.m. to go sit and learn, be still, don't move, and so we're set up to be sleep deprived humans.
And I got a routine, you know? Yeah, I mean, cause they was always telling me, you know, lost this and I'm like, look, yeah, I don't have no routine to things. It got to be done when I have time. I mean, or when it's available for me to do, and medicine goes out, sleep goes out. So I'm not getting proper rest and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm cautious. I mean, I'm careless.
Yeah, careless.
I'm very careless.
Charles says also the voices start with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and they start folding in when he's tired. Oh yeah, I feel that, right? I'm tired and it's like, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done that. Man, if I would have done this. Then my mom says she dozed off during meetings. I bet. And then it's kind of like, we just had this New Year celebration because the calendar says that we changed years. And so this is a time where our culture, and it's not all over the world. This is it's very heavy and dominant here, where people are like, New Year, resolutions, get excited, do the thing, set goals, make steps, go to the gym, work out, right? And it's all this like, let's do this big, let's put out all of this energy.
The push.
Yeah, the push. And the funny thing is that this time of year, nothing in nature is doing that.
It's dying.
Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing in nature is doing what?
It's doing that, like that, pushing out energy, being out, doing things, setting goals, making moves, taking steps. Nature's not doing that.
Right.
Nature's relaxing right now. Nature is chilling. Nature is resting. Nature is hibernating. Nature is resting, and as it's resting, it's cultivating energy for the spring, which is technically a new year. When you look at cultures everywhere else of all times ever, New Year is in March. Like even astrologically, in all other faiths of spirituality and oneness and connection and all the things. This is just when they took the calendar and took it to the Gregorian calendar. They said that this is the new year. But it's not. They just say it is.
Since the climate change and it's fooling nature, right? For all these events that's going on. I mean, because we getting this weird weather thing, you know what I'm saying? When it's supposed to be, and then, you know what I'm saying, falls like flowers start growing, and then they have to die off because, chill kills them. But, in the climate change, you would think, you know what I'm saying, that, nature is being fooled.
Well, there's a lot of weather manipulation that is not allowing nature to change as it naturally would.
Mhm. I
So
believe that.
it's kind of like, so to go on what Mom's asking, Mama Jane says, why do we wait until the beginning of the new year to make changes? Right?
This is one long day to me, Mom.
All right, I know.
8 hours from now, it's the same what up.
Yeah, it's the same forever. Right. And it's like, we can make these changes any day. Right. And sometimes the changes when we look at cycles of life, cycles of life, cycles of a year, cycles of nature, we have the cycle of rest. We have the cycle of rest. That's what we're in right now. And we have the cycle of release. Get rid of it. That was fall. We have the cycle of like, I'm out and I'm doing the thing. That's summer. The time of planting ideas and starting new things, that's spring. Right? So we don't have to wait until the beginning of a new year to make changes. I think we have the beginning of every day to make a change, right? Like today I'm going to make a change and I'm going to drink more water, or I'm going to be kinder to myself. I'm going to be kinder to others, or I don't know. That's a change I'm going to make. And when we look at if we spread that out, now is not really a time to make big life changes. Now is a time to chill out, to relax, to take it inward.
Oh, dormant, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's a time to rest, receive stillness, to just relax more. The sun is energy, right? If I think about the sun, I think of that's our energy source. It's the light, it's the energy. We don't even have a lot of light right now. Even nature's chill out, y'all.
It
Relax.
gets dark early.
Right. You're going to have spring to do all this stuff. So what we do is we set ourselves up for failure. So think about this. Our culture is like, new year, make changes, do new things. So we spend January and February trying, and our body is like, no, you're supposed to be relaxing. So then we're overexerting, and so we're tired, so we don't make clear decisions. We might be cranky. We feel lethargic. We don't feel full of energy. We don't feel excited or inspired or motivated. And then March comes around, and we feel like we were already spent. Now, if we spent this time to relax, restore, contemplate, reflect, receive, then when March comes around, we actually have all of this internal energy, mental clarity to take big steps and to make big changes. The end. Bye. So how does that feel? How does that feel to hear this idea of, okay, so what if I said, okay, whatever your New Year's resolution was, you can ignore it. You can completely scrap it. And so for the next 2 months, what you get to do is just relax, just receive, just restore, just contemplate, just reflect. And then you can make your New Year's resolution in March. How would that feel? Does it feel freeing? Does it feel burdensome? How does that feel?
It's always been a practice in my life. I don't make resolutions. I pretty much don't want to predict things in my life. I just pretty much just want to be a participant of when it happens.
So it doesn't make you feel anything to think about that?
Because, anything that come at me at my age right now, I can handle it. So, you know what I'm saying? So whatever comes, I can just go and handle it. And I've been doing that for some years now. So, so a resolution is not required.
Okay. So for those that do make resolutions, so like, or just the concept of it, like just the thought of like kind of getting permission to take this time to relax and receive and be chill. You don't have to do anything big right now. You can just let it marinate until March. Like, how does that feel for y'all?
Supposed to be relaxing, but so if you don't plan anything, you ain't got to worry about anything.
Right? How does that land? How does that feel?
Whatever comes, yeah.
You ain't got to worry about anything, just like you said. So if you worry about something, then you got something to worry about. If you ain't got to worry about something, anything happening, then you got to worry about it not happening.
Yeah. So it maybe feels a little bit more relaxing
Yeah.
to think about it like that? Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing?
Don't need no more bad news.
You just ain't got to worry about anything, just like you said, until spring.
Yeah. And by then, I don't think there's much worry. Because it's like, oh, I feel
Either you're doing what
rested.
you're thinking about doing, or you ain't doing it.
Yeah. Because like you were saying, how we were talking about what happens when you don't get enough rest. How you make careless decisions, maybe not safe stuff. We get hyper focused on things and we kind of lose sight of all the other stuff. Our body feels tired and everything just kind of feels slow. Yeah, shut down. And so imagine, allowing all of that shut down feeling and all that, like, okay, like I'm just going to feel tired. I'm going to feel rested. And so that when, say, March comes, when the new year comes in March, that we don't feel worried because our body is alive. Like our body is like, oh, I'm ready, right? It's like if you take the winter to winterize your car, right? Where you get it waxed and detailed and the spark plugs and the tune up and the oil and the filters and the tires and all that stuff. And so then it's like when spring comes, you're like, oh no, I can take the car out. It's safe. It's good. But if you let the car completely, run it ragged over the winter and you didn't actually take care of it and let it just relax, then by the time spring comes, it's like, now you got to spend all this work repairing the car, but you just want to take a trip to the beach. So it's kind of that same analogy, right? Mama Jane says it sounds more beneficial for the body and mind. It sounds more relaxing. It definitely sounds more relaxing to me. And for me, like relaxing in this time of year is not easy for me. because I've been so conditioned that it's like new year, new goals, start new things. And then I'm really like, wait a minute, but it's not a new year. It only is based on a calendar that just started not that long ago in our human existence. Our ancestors were not celebrating new beginnings right now, ever, because they didn't go by this calendar. I find that interesting to kind of go back to nature.
It's like Ben Franklin, he kind of like, made everything possible about these season years. Well, you know what I'm saying? The whole thought of that, the chaos of what's coming, right? And then we prepare for it because, but the thing is and everything, within my travels, it's like I'm setting myself up. I don't want to be set up no more. So if I can even focus on that, I'm not in this, pretty setting myself up for failure or something, I can't achieve. So it's kind of stressful for me to have to set them goals
Mm-hmm.
and not achieve them goals. They don't need no more bad news. I got a lot of it. I'm old enough to know, I don't like bad news, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm thankful for what you're selling me and everything, and maybe I will incorporate that in my life. But the thing is that I don't see it necessary because so far I made it this far, and then I'm trying to incorporate a lot of things in my life right now, and I'm kind of stressful because sometimes I achieve it, sometimes I don't, So just another idea thrown on all the ideas was given to me right now. It'd be something extra to work on.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that because I think that when we have this time where we can reflect and rest, then things start to come into clarity, right? The mental clarity
Right.
starts to come in. And that mental clarity may say, you need to sleep more, or you need to eat more vegetables, or you need to start writing those letters that you said that you wanted to write 10 years ago, like whatever. So the mental clarity comes in, and we don't have to wait until March to start those habits, that we can start to incorporate those new things now. But to say, no, this is a new year and I must go and produce, then that's stopping that reflective receiving energy that we're here to be in still in this. Yeah.
Right.
Mama Jane says bears hibernate during this time and come alive in the spring. Are they smarter than humans? No, they're more connected to nature. And I think that the more, right? I think the more connected to nature we are, the smarter we are. I think that the more that we are disconnected from nature,
Right.
the dumber we get.
Alan brought up an interesting thing about how he meets challenges. He take a nap.
Yeah.
And I did incorporate it, and I think I found it true.
Naps are great. I took one yesterday.
I just,
Did you take a nap yesterday?
I think
Did you take a nap yesterday?
At home?
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Did you take a nap yesterday? You did? Did you take one yesterday?
I hope I've been taking them
Every day?
I have a place right now.
To tune up?
I ain't gotta wait for or just look for. I don't have to do. I can do it instantly.
Yeah,
And then I just noticed I've been doing it a lot.
it's good stuff. Did you take a nap yesterday?
No.
No. Kim, did you take a nap yesterday?
You did.
You did. Did anyone on here take a nap yesterday? I took a nap yesterday.
Well, the sleep discussion in.
So hold on. So you get to take 2 naps today. Make up for yesterday and then one for today. You can even take a third one and book up for tomorrow if you want. What were you saying?
The sleep discussion with fellow vets basically got around to saying that you shouldn't take any kind of rest during the day because it says it interacts with your sleep at night.
That's a lie.
Well, I'm just saying, this had psychologists, this had social workers, this had about 5 different vets, and they basically all agreed that they don't take naps during the day.
Yeah. Well, they probably don't take naps during the day, so that is a truth. To say that we don't need to rest is not truth.
I think it was more or less naps.
right? I mean, I think it depends on the type of nap. You know, if we get in our pajamas, we go into the bed and we get like into the sleep mode and we take a 4-hour nap, yeah, not okay. Right. But if we sit and and we can do two different things. We can take a nap or we can consciously rest. And they're different. So I'll talk about naps. So if we're going to nap, you know, if we say set a timer, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, right? I always wake up before my alarm because I don't like to wake up before like to an alarm. So my body's like, you're going to wake up. Okay. Anyway, so if you set an alarm for a short one, then that gives us enough time to just recalibrate, especially if we've been going and having a big day. Like if your day is spent laying in bed all day, napping is not okay.
No.
Napping, it's like, no, you need to get up.
Right.
Right. But if we're busy or we're engaging or we're around a lot of people or if we're physical, to me, that's like, if I'm outside all day in the hot sun, would someone say, no, you don't need to go in for an hour break in the shade? Of course not. It's a similar kind of a thing.
I believe
Mom takes one every day.
that study was on the position you have in life. Like you're a mother, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you a soldier or something? Are you just some kind of, position that you have in life? Yeah. Of course, you gotta be alert, and then you better get rest, and then you gotta wake up and do the same
Stay alert.
position.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Position is position.
yeah. And we've been taught in our culture to go, go, go. You know, we've been taught you wake up early and you go and you go to work, you get the job done and you work 40, 80, 90 hours a week, and maybe you get a vacation one day, So to even say, no, I'm going to take 3 months out of the year to intentionally rest, to restore, to receive, to reflect, that's not in our dominant culture, but it is in the dominant culture of other societies and systems that are healthier than we are.
Yeah, because I had to work 18 hours sometimes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like working 18 hours in a day is bonkers. But if you think about an average day for a human, so say a human gets up at 6 a.m. and they start doing their thing around their house and they go work uptown. So now they got to go drive an hour because they live an hour's drive away. Well, now it's going to take them an hour and a half. So this right now, just their travel is like 2.5 hours of their day on top of if they want to go to the gym. Okay, that's another energy of output. The driving is a lot of focus. They go to work. They have to be nice. They have to dress a certain way. They're on the computer, right? And then they might have to go out after work, take the kid to soccer practice, right? There's all this going and doing. They don't have a time to even close their human eyes. Yeah. Like there's not even time to just physically close the eyeballs. So that means just our brain is taking in information and light all the time. So that's a lot. That's a lot on our nervous system. That's a lot on our mental body. It's a lot on our emotional bodies. If you are an empath and you see and you feel people, and you're like, oh, wow, I can feel that they are hurting. Oh, So for us, huh?
Yeah, I got that beauty.
Right.
Mutation.
It's a good one. So it's like for us to be on that go mode, it'd be different if we were farmers. If we were all farmers right now, we got up with the sun, we had a breakfast, we go outside and we're doing this manual labor, right? So we have nothing but light and nature coming at us, right? We're outside, fresh air, animals, plants, whatever. So we're in the rhythm of nature. We go in for lunch, we take a break, we get the shade, we might relax for a little bit, have a conversation with someone we love. And then we go back out, we feel energized and we do the rest of the day. We come in and we eat, we commune, we relax, we might celebrate, we might dance, we might create something together, and then we go to bed. Our lives aren't like that. So back then, maybe the need for a nap wasn't as prevalent because our mind could handle all of the data. So for us to take this time to relax and to just chill out you know, is literally breaking a mold of our culture and going against the grain so that we can reconnect and have a healthier body. Kim, what do you feel if I say, you need to relax and rest for the next 2 months? No more goals, no like New Year's resolution, gotta go, gotta do all that stuff, but just relax, contemplate, reflect. And I promise you by March, you'll have all this energy and whatever intentions you had and goals, that's when you would start it. How does that feel?
That wouldn't work for me
Okay, how come?
because I don't like to sit still like that. You know, I don't like to be that much downtime. Like, you know, a lot of people say, okay, weekend's here, Saturday I'm grocery shop, wash clothes, do all this, and then Sunday I'm gonna stay home and not do anything. That doesn't work for me. I have to be doing something, whether I'm working or at home, walking my dog, going to walk. I just can't sit still. That's just part of my mood disorder too.
So what if instead of it being, no, when I say being still, sometimes that's a mental stillness, right? It's a difference from producing to receiving. So what if it were this time were used to paint or draw or something creative that you love to do?
Well, unfortunately, I don't do a lot of drawing or journaling. I like to follow people on YouTube, seeing what they're doing. I have some people that I follow that eat. They're called mukbangers. And all they do is prepare foods, and then they eat the food in front of you, and they talk about this, that, and the other. And I follow about 3 of them, so I watch them at least, if not every day, quite often. That's a hobby of mine. I also go on YouTube and look at different videos about health concerns that I have. But I'm not real creative with doing a lot with my hands, like writing and reading. I can't focus that well on reading unless it's something that I pulled up, you know, I'm trying to find out about a medication or something. But my hobbies are my YouTube, my Netflix, you know.
Those aren't hobbies. Those aren't hobbies.
I know, I
Those
don't
are just
really-
watching TV.
I
That's
don't
not a
really
hobby.
I guess
Hobbies are creating something.
Yeah, I spend time with my dog. A lot of time with him playing fetch
Mm-hmm.
and grandkids. You already know that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as hobbies, I used to have, oh my gosh, umpteen hobbies. I used to collect boxes, like wooden antique type. So I've got like all these boxes all over the place. Just things. But then I had a stamp collection. I had a coin when I was a little bit younger, and I still have those, but I'm not actively doing anything with them. But I don't have any real hobbies anymore. I really don't.
I don't know
Interesting.
if this is a hobby, but I don't know, maybe it's a different way to come to it, come at it, I'm not, being the one to say, hey, we're gonna be doing this today, No, I'm gonna be a participant and just sit back, you know what I mean? I call it, getting rid of my control issue. I don't want to be controlling. I want to understand what other people's ideas, and just be a participant, because control has been real negative kind of thing in my life. When I was thinking a whole different option of that, because some people, you know what I'm saying. I don't put it with just some. I would put it with everybody I come in.
Everybody would get an equal dose of your control.
Everybody equally.
No discrimination. I'm
No
going to try to control
discrimination.
everyone.
Everyone. So I've been practicing not having to think of something and just be invited.
Yes. Mama Jane just commented and said, I totally enjoy downtime as I've had many years of uptime.
That's it.
That's the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us, huh?
That comes from a mama.
Well, yeah, well, and a father, both. I mean, how many men are out there that have just been going,
My dad.
right? A lot of humans do that.
What
And
do you mean?
yeah. And so think about that. That's a lot of uptime as opposed to downtime. When you look at the cycle of nature, it's equal. There's equal rest as there's creation, as there's just continual output as far as purging, right? We go birth, life, death, rebirth. We're in the rebirth time
Yeah.
when you look at the cycle of nature.
You look at a tree. That's the
Exactly.
cycle of nature.
Exactly. All of nature, and we are nature. We are nature beings.
Or a creature.
Yeah. We're a divine human. We're more than just a creature. We are a spiritual
Reborn.
human, right?
Yeah.
And so we are here to have this time of downtime as much as we are here to have an uptime. Just as we are to emerge and go in. So my invitation for all of us over the next few months is to just let this land with take it with a grain of salt, right? See if we can take the next 2 months to let our energy build through rest and integration of energy, and let our energy build through contemplation, let our energy build through hobbies, let our energy build through rest, really. If we can, let's see if we can do that and kind of let this energy build. Can we do that? Can we all make a little pact to rest a little bit and to let new ideas come in instead of feeling like we have to think of everything new now? Just to let the new ideas come to us with ease and in rest. Because what if this year, what if 2023 on this calendar is one of the most bonkers year in history? Then would you want to be spending this time expending all your energy, or would you want to use this time to regenerate and get all of your energy together so that you can handle with a clear mind, a light body, safely the next year coming in? So that's my invitation to all of us. We can all
I just wish
relax.
I could get dates.
Definitely, got it.
For me. Give me a date. What
Dates?
day? What time?
You're like, I'm there.
I'll be there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sure,
Joshua.
I'll show up.
That's funny.
Showing up now is better than not showing up.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that we get to start the new calendar year together, and that we'll get to spend the new natural year together. And y'all, I'm going to be here on Thursday mornings.
God.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10
Okay.
o'clock.
Hey,
So mark
it's
your
a
calendars.
day. It's
Yeah,
a
mark your
day.
calendars. Thursdays at 10.
Now, what is the class?
Expansions.
Oh, it's
So,
gonna be in the
yeah,
daytime now.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's the spiritual dimension of wellness. So we can talk about love, consciousness, God, Buddha, Jesus, Krishna. We can talk about whatever you call it. We can talk about the nothing. We can talk about atheism. We can talk about how to live in compassion, whatever that is to you. But it's how to live this life where we can find this unifying force of energy. And really it's the remembering of it. So come join me here at 10. Please, the more the merrier. And I'll bring the sound bowl. We'll do a little meditation, all the things. But
Okay.
All right.
okay, I'm
Sounds
excited.
good.
Awesome.
I got a date. Like
I know you got a date. You asked for a date. Thursday.
that.
Thursday at 10 a.m. So mark your calendars, 10 a.m. on
It's on the
Thursdays.
calendar
Tune
too,
in.
right?
It is on the calendar. It's on
Okay.
the Promise Resource Network calendar. So you can look,
Alright.
y'all can look on there too for all the other classes that PRN offers. So thanks for joining on this digital platform. And I will see you all. Yes,
Okay.
every Thursday at 10. Yes.
Very good.
Gotcha. Bye. Thanks for being here with me, y'all.